Hey, what's up, miners? 2024 farm rebuilds. Gonna rebuild rig number 4, or I guess create rig number 4, and steal some GPUs from another rig. But that's the Prime Day 5950X. It's a decent deal. And then we have the open box X570, the fanciest RAM I'll ever buy in my life. The hard drive I always use, and then I pulled that from the 10850 board, which currently has all my Ftw3s, and I'm addicted to these. And I got one more case, and so that should be all of the last things that I have to buy. And this will be the rainbow rig, I guess. I got the RGB because the Ftw3s have it already, so we'll kind of see how that goes compared to these without the light. And I've got some of the GPU risers that have white lights. And so on here, I have been, in case I use Windows, I keep track of which GPU has the video out by these little tags. And I think I can do away with that tag. And I'll keep track of it by a white riser. And I'll do the same. Let's see down here. So that's the video out for the other half. And so I'm going to switch that to a white riser. This has been testing on Nexa. It's been a few days. I did some core algos and then that. It's been going well. So we'll get this built. It'll be nice to get all these done so I can finally organize them. Get my office back. It's been a mess, but we're getting rid of stuff. Old hard drives. So, all right. Well, let's make this a thing. Woohoo! Hey, it's almost a thing. So I've got the CPU in. Got all the standoffs mounted the board. Got our cheap little switch. And so I'll get a cooler on here. Need to clean our power supply. It is quite dusty. And figure out the cables. And I guess I don't think these have video out. The 5900Xs don't. My 5800Xs don't. So I'm just guessing the 5950X doesn't, but I'll look that up. And we'll see. It's my first one. Well, let's get it cooled, and I'll get a card just in case it needs video out. Oh, and we've got our little 4-way splitter there, so I do like those. And I'll probably switch over to those going forward. They're much more compact. Well, on the boards that have dual slots. So on the B450, which I think is the reason this will be my last B450. They only have one of the M.2 slots. So, but the B550s and the X570s that I have both have dual. So I do like that. Okay, here we go. Let's make some internet time pass. Woohoo! Alright, well, it got cool with this cool air. And I've got all I did go ahead and hook all the RGB up right from the go. Got our 1600p plus. Went ahead and pulled the Ftw3 rig in to kind of figure out what I want to do with the cables. And I think I've got that figured out, so pretty neat. Pretty excited with this AIO setup. I think it's a pretty neat, clean way to, and cheap way with the way those Summerites came down. But I usually run TF8 paste. These come with TF7, which, this being the 5950, I just went ahead and used that Noctua that I had gotten with the order. So we'll see how it does. We'll get a card on here and fire it up in the morning. So Very cool. So I need to get the... I've got the test rig back up because somebody hit on the BitX pool. So I was messing around. If you download CC Miner and you can change that to Sha256D and you can connect to that pool. These are two 1660 Ti's. One is Samsung, one is the other. I can't remember if these had Micron or Hynix, but about 90 watts, or about 100 watts, excuse me. Gets you about 1.6 gigahash. And then on the 2060, it'll get about a gigahash on its own for 60 watts. So that is an option. Those, even the, what are they called? I don't remember the brand, but whatever the ones, they're still way, way, way more efficient than this. But it was just kind of an experiment, mainly to see if it would work. And it does. So I got shares accepted there. And then, oh, we hit a Kaspa block today. Woohoo! So, let's see. Yeah, so this is KS0 original, and it still hits a few blocks a month. So it was on 140 gigahash, probably, good gosh, probably till somewhere in here. I pulled it back to 100, just the regular stock, and it's still decent. So the one today is not on there, but yeah, that was pretty sweet. The other pool that hits is my Myeongcoin pool. So I did get connected. I did get it to connect there also. So just funsies, but we'll pull that down and get our test rig off the test bench table until we can get rid of all this stuff. It'll be so nice to have my office back. I know I keep saying that, but it's this is getting ridiculous. All right, well, we'll see that on the table in the morning with the GPU. Woohoo! All right. So this is kind of how I ran them previously. I'd run the splitter to 1 and then run the board draw, which is usually pretty low on both of these cards, the board draw. And then run some cables to the side. And so previously, having the 3080 vertical to my personal, I had tried these and ran them long term, even with Raven. So I don't suggest that you do the same, but I'm comfortable with them. And I like the way they turned out on the Ultra rig. So I found that the EVGA cables will split almost exactly to power the riser. Don't know if I can get that on film, but I'm pretty sure you know where the riser plugs in. And that gave me exactly enough room to come up to here with no binding or pressure or anything. And then I can run the other cable, you know, under there, and it gives it a real clean look. So 2 of the packages came in and they were the wrong thing, so I'll get 2 more tomorrow and complete this, but for now we'll have some Medusa stuff, but yeah, that's going forward. So all I've got to do now is just shut this off, which I'm having a really hard time doing because I want that long shot Bitcoin block. But I'll stop dreaming. We'll turn this off and we'll turn Ultra off for a moment and get number 4 on the table here. Do some wire surgery. Okay, so I've got it up on the table here, and after a little reflection, since this is only 4 cards, and it shouldn't ever be more than 4 cards, and this is an X570, I do already have 4 ports, so I feel like I'm misallocating the M2 USB adapter, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out and run old school. I think I had a bag of like 100 of those silly things. So yeah, well, I think I'll go that direction, and then in the back, just kind of looking. I think I'm gonna run a fan in the back here, just a black one. It's already got some holes on top. It would be super easy. But that would catch some air across the RAM. It would catch air across the M2 hard drive we'll install. It would push air across the AIO. And it would push some air across the voltage regulators. So, I don't know. I think I'll probably do that. I don't see a reason not to. But, and I've got to do a pinout test on this cable. This is one I pulled from a box. I haven't used it yet, and I do pinout test every cable before I plug it in. I'd rather waste 30 seconds than cost myself a few $100s, and you never know who made these or what they were made by, or are they counterfeit? Are they in the wrong box? Even between suppliers, you know, cables can be different. So, all right, but these ones have already all been used on the previous build, so they're all tested. And we'll get those connected to this one card and see if we can get some video out. And we'll just get everything set up, CPU wise, UEFI wise, BIOS, whatever. And then from there we'll load the other GPUs and worry about drivers and GPU miners and all that stuff. So let's get this big old 5950X fired up. See what it has to say. And we do have a BIOS update from April this year. So we'll get that popped on. We've already got our Windows USB, have our LAN disconnected. And since we're Rainbow Rig, we'll get our pink stick out for MMPOS. That's my MMPOS bag. So we've got red, gold, and black left. So I did go ahead and pull the 4-way out and plugged into the first slot with hopefully our video out cards. I did try this. If I like it, then I'll drill some more holes. Just did a single screw from the back for now and piggybacked off of CPU fan, which should match these 3 fans here, ran in series or parallel, I don't know, but together, whatever they're running in. So yeah, we'll get the BIOS on there and we'll come back for our first start. And alright, well, we got the BIOS in. So, and I'm just on NiceHash and mining literal Bitcoin. I'm just playing around. I haven't been doing any network analysis at all. Just rebuilding the farm, having some fun. Let's turn our power switch on. Where have you gone? Oh, and here's the back of that card. So kind of a close-up on how I was able to not use the adapters, and it fits quite perfectly. Where it does touch, it's protected, and the length matches that exactly. So I do like that. Ooh, we got some lights. Alright, well, let's see if we get video. Let's see if we can update the BIOS. Oh, we got stuff spinning. Yeah, baby. First try. That really brought the definition out. It's not blurry anymore. We got light. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Oh, and we got a signal. Yes. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Open box for the win. Okay, well, I'm gonna update this BIOS, get some stuff set up, and yeah, that's neat. Okay, well, here we go. Nope, I'm just gonna look at it a little more. Okay, I gotta work. All right, BIOS took well. got our Windows stick, our installer stick, in there. I went through and just did some of the standard things I do. I went ahead and turned on XMP. Set everything to Gen 1, turned off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, power on, AC loss, 4G. Didn't actually change anything in fan mode, that's on. And then we got PBO off in both places. So, got Windows popping, and I'm going into this blind, so we're just gonna run some voltages and some frequencies, see what old 5950X does on RandomX. So, that'll be fun. My first 5950 and my last AM4. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Fun build. Okay, we'll see if it takes. See if it takes here. See if I can talk. Jeez. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we'll install this. Turn off all the malarkey, and delete all the stuff we can. All right, see you in a few minutes. And Windows is going. I got that installed. If you'd like to see how I set these up, I do have a CPU setup video somewhere on the channel. So I was surprised a little bit. I started out with this RAM here, which had some pretty tight timings and was twice the price of a regular, like a CL1632. 16 gigabyte kit. And I got like really bad numbers. So I was like, what? So I've got some Corsair CL183600 in there, 16 gigabytes, by 2. And so the motherboard wouldn't even attempt to relearn the RAM. So I was like, well, that's odd. So I did Google that just to make sure I wasn't missing something. And it seems the Corsair specifically, there was some compatibility issues, like unofficially, but it was a lot of people saying they couldn't get it to read either. And that is with the most recent BIOS. So I had those P and Ys from over there. And I put those in, they read just fine. They did the relearn, or the memory learn, whatever that's called, RAM learn. And booted up, XMP'd it, didn't change any of the settings from the last one as far as UEFI goes. So here's why I changed it. So we can get it to a point where you can pause, maybe, if you want. But it was abysmal on performance with the G.Skill FlareX. So they were 8 gigabyte sticks versus 16 gigabyte sticks. But the timings here were 14, 14, 14. I want to say 16, more than 16, more than 16. But the FlareX, well, I'm a miner, not a streamer. So once again, if you can pause it, if you care. But anyways, the FlareX was absolute garbage, so I'm sending those back. And the portion where I used the PNY CL1632, I did settle on this setting here. So the 37, or excuse me, 0.904, 3.7 gigahertz. Got me down to 37 Celsius at 93 watts. And it hangs out around 16.3. So, pretty steady on 93 watts. There is a discrepancy on 880 volts in Winfo. and 904 from the ASUS software. So we'll see. I want to make sure those are steady before I do actually try to plug that into BIOS, but I'll match it when I do. So we'll stick with the PNY. It's working. Those are similar numbers to what I expected, and we'll put that back in a box, and Amazon can have that back, because I'm not wasting $72 on that. Maybe circumstantial. Maybe that's the best RAM in the world, but it sucks for what I want to do with it. All right. Okay, got our second 3070 Ti wired in. I just did those so they can share the 8x8. And hopefully this goes smooth. Are we not? What has happened? No. Okay, well, we'll turn off the power. When that happens, I try to turn it on with the power off. Clear all the caps out. See what that bullshit. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh, what I did there? Woohoo! Video out. Alright. And it looks pretty good with two. The thing about putting this fancy switch on, it even has like backlights on the power, so. See what it do. What's up, kangaroo? Doing some driver stuff. And that was pretty quick. Alright. I had been testing on Nexa. It's one of my favorite things to test. Nah, I'm just already mining it, so why not? On the other ones, kind of my. I'm satisfied. Let's get some 3080s in here. And call this done. Yeah. Alright, another pretty cool rig that I'm proud of. It's very hard to walk in the dark. So I do have, I'd updated the Aura Sync, and so I am able to control the CPU fans with temperature. So green being low, yellow being mid, red being hot, and that's adjustable within the Armory crate. So I think I do have red set at 65. Not that that's super high for an AMD, but I want to know about that because the normal running temp is 39. So got our two 3080s on there. It is really bright. I'm not sure if the camera's giving that or not, but I like that. I like that. I built, this will be the second time I've done the Ftw3 rig. And so we'll have some more adapters tomorrow. Get rid of those cables. Because without the cable sticking up, I think I like that look a lot. So, excuse me. Went out for a little smoke break while it was tested. Okay, well let's see how it's been. Was it good? Consider this like a mid-level algo. That's completely subjective, I guess. But it's not cranked up like an Equihash or a Raven or something. Or I could, crank those up. And so with all that, the CPU is still only 44 C, pulling in two 3080s and one 3070s worth of heat. So, or a TI, I guess. Let's check poolside. see what the scoop is. And so this one started at 100. I can't remember. It was from quite some time ago, but I gave up at 100. So for this run, it'll be this 81.72, and yeah, we showed up. So oh my god, looks like we peaked 374. And we've got 400 in software, so we'll let it go a little bit. It is not tuned at all. Those are very, very rudimentary tunes. My tunes for this are on the 10850, and it's not hooked up to anything, so I just kind of plugged them in. Yeah, very happy. Very happy with Rig 4. It's kind of fun to look at in there. It'll be hard to put some of these outside. It will, but rainbow rig. Let's see in the light here. All right, knocking them out. Yeah, so you just get those 180s there, and that will be all done. If everything's smooth, we'll wire manage it. Still got to wire manage rig number 2. And then we'll start on rig number 5 over there. I haven't decided whether I'm going to split that into two rigs, one frame like this one, or I'm not sure. But we got 10 EVGA 1660 Supers over there to do something with. But that's our test rig. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. It's a very, very nice motherboard. I got such a good deal. I don't spend over $100 on a motherboard, or I get upset. And I think these are worth like 200 and something now, the Z590As. So that turned out to be a pretty good investment. HODL silicon, and it's got a 10105 in it, which is pretty worthless, but it's decent. So we'll see. 2 of these are spoken for the A770s, and that leaves us 2 that could go either way. So we'll see. But that's number 4. So we're knocking them out. Farm Rebuild 2024. Moving right along. So we'll see you later. There's Ftw3 Wig. More to come. Happy hashing. Keep learning. Keep growing. And keep helping people. See you later.